Collective, welcome back to Pearl Snap Tarot. Make it snappy. We found something. We find things all the time in here that we forgot about. And so we found this. So this is, you've seen my Pearl Snap's other traveling tarot card case. This is another one, but it's full of cards that I made a long time ago that I forgot all about, even before I started reading tarot cards. So this is really interesting. And so I only just opened it, but I didn't really get into it. So I'm gonna put it on the table and we're gonna open it up. Let's see what's in there. And we'll give a reading. We'll give a reading from there too. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, here it is. It's an old, it's from an old toy that was like, once upon a time had a toy microscope in it. I think I bought this at a thrift store one time. And during this period, I was making these laminated collage cards. And I was known as like the grandmother of laminated collages in my hometown. So look what's in here. I got all these decks. We had the mode de coiffure deck. Hairdo pour vous. Let's get into this. We got a hairdo deck. All right, let's get into the hairdo deck. Oh wow, okay. This is bringing back hairy memories here. Hairy times, hairy memories. Friends of mine. I had one friend in particular who was real. Well, she was some kind of Masonic royalty or something. Wouldn't leave the house without doing the hair. Okay, hairdo pour vous. She knows who she is. She's a real nut. Okay. Haven't seen that person for quite a long time. She was taking part in the scapegoating tactics against yours truly. All right, we're gonna start with a mode de coiffure reading. Okay, let's go. Let's go. What can the deck tell us about these people back in my hometown and what was going on there? Please. Yeah, I was working for a really bizarre company at the time. They make, what did they call them? Transformational audio tapes. Okay. All right, glasses. We have here Little Miss Headband. Ooh, it says Bloods on the headband. Non, salé. I think that means bish. So looks like somebody was in a gang. Oh yeah, that's what I said. Those royal families, sometimes they are like gangs, you know, but they're not gangs. They were running over me for sure. What else? What else? What other hairdos do we have? These are like Bond girls, kind of. They're like weird, trippy, wooey Bond girls. Okay. Oh. And we have here the Golden Girl. Oh, Golden Girl. Number 6. And she's got a little dollar sign. She reminds me of Miss Moneypenny, kind of. Number 6. What number was this one? This is number 2 here. Number 2. This is kind of a High Priestess deck. Look at this guy on the back of the card. He likes them. What card is this? Oh, here's the Honey West card. Oh, Honey West was one of my favorite TV shows when I was growing up. Honey West was a spy. Okay, she was kind of like a female James Bond type, kind of like, what was her name in the Avengers? I always liked those characters. In 99 on Get Smart. Jolie Rouge. Oh, look, she's a Scorpio. Her number is 7, right on the third eye. Yeah, Honey West had a little beauty mark right on her, over her lips. Okay. So we've got Honey West, Golden Girl, and Little Miss Headband. Right away, I'm getting a vibe of jealous. I'm getting a jealous vibe. Jealous. And of course, isn't that what we have in the world of spiritual warfare? There's a lot of jealousy. Yeah. Little Miss Headband wasn't getting scapegoated. She participated in the scapegoating against yours truly. Yeah. There was a lot of that going on in that town. And the company I worked for too. Let's get one of these oracle cards. That's too many. We've got torn. Yeah. Oh, that fits. Little Miss Headband was always torn about being friends with yours truly. She might have just been a smiling face. I'm not sure. There were a lot of people gaslighting Pearl Snap back in the hometown. I got bumped around quite a lot there. Let's see what else is in here. Let's see what else is in here. Wow. Okay, this is from a long way back, because it's from a trip that I took to Nepal millions of years ago with the notorious university. Okay. Got a bunch of cards in here. Wow, here's a jeweled one. All right, so this has something to do with family jewels. Okay, I think it's kind of like this warfare between these magical families. Okay, who has the best family jewels? Who has the best family jewels? And who is jealous? Who's jealous, huh? Who's jealous? What else? Somebody's got some royal DNA. Check it out. Somebody's kind of elven, too. Look at that zap power there. And it looks like power of 3 to me. Okay, there's 3 women here, too. Check it out. Okay, what else do we have here? God, some of this is so weird. Yeah, it got pretty weird with these cards. Let's see. Yeah, at one point, all these people kind of, after I left town and I ended up stuck here in New Mexico, a bunch of these people sent me weird emails talking about someone's dog that had died, and I knew what that meant. It just wasn't very nice, okay? It was not nice. There was a lot of not nice vibe coming off these people. Yeah, look, it was kind of a get out of town vibe. We're glad you're gone. Take a bus to the middle of nowhere, why don't you? We don't like you and your magic. Yeah, I was always the last one invited to the end. Whenever anybody had a party, Little Miss Headband would come at the last minute. So-and-so's having a party. You want to go? I never got an invitation from the host of the party. I always ended up going with Little Miss Headband. And then when I got there, I would get treated like a nobody, of course. This popped. More flowers. More flowers. Well, there's like a heavy divine feminine vibe going on here. Really, really heavy. Another rose. Who are these people? Look at these people. Look, doesn't that look like the family? One more. God, I can't even tell what this is. It's some kind of crazy party, it looks like. I was just talking about parties, getting invited to parties. I never got directly invited to a party. Little Miss Headband had wild parties. I'm remembering that now. Did wild stuff at the parties. Yeah, and I was always torn. I wasn't sure who my friends really were. It seemed pretty obvious who they were, you know. I mean, nobody was my friend, really. Yeah, see, I was off by myself, all alone, the weirdo. Isolated weirdo. I think that stands for anomalous. Okay, let's take one of these. This is a new deck I just got. It's called the Citadel of Fantasy Oracle. These are really cool. Maybe we can get some more insight about these people there, where I came from. And what was going on at that job I had. The company I worked for 4 different times. I couldn't seem to get a job anywhere else. We have an alchemist in the mix. Somebody has turn something into gold. Well, anyway, I think what we have here is some kind of, you know, magic wars. We have divine feminine magic wars going on. There were people in that town who were being used for their energy. I'm sure of it, okay? Every day was a grind at this place where I worked. It was a constant parade of mean clients who just didn't like my work, okay? All right, I'm not the greatest graphic designer that ever lived, and I got so that I took meticulous notes about everything I was doing because there was too many rejections. At a certain point, it became very transparent that it was a subtle kind of abuse, that I was being set up all the time, okay? Maybe someone in the collective can relate to that. Here's another deck. Let's get this deck out. I have no idea what's in here. No idea. But it was a subtle form of abuse to have these people who appeared to be clients, but they were connected to all these weird companies that didn't seem legitimate, okay? They seemed kind of wacko, a lot of these clients. A lot of them were like non-profit orgs. And they took turns coming in there beating me up. They just took turns. So, what's up with that? You know, what is up with that? It got to the point where it got so transparent, I started going to my boss and saying, oh, what are you keeping me on this assignment for? Nobody likes what I'm doing. The client doesn't like it. Why don't you put another designer on there? Aren't you spending too much money? You know, having me go through 500 rounds before they like something? You know, I mean, like, it got like that. It was like, why are you, you know, I mean, and then it got so that they couldn't bill out for all the hours they were abusing me. It got hard to bill out for it. People started complaining, why is this so expensive? Well, you know. Yeah, it got old. Yeah, I got like an old repeat of an old, stupid old TV show. Okay? Same shit over and over and over and over. Did anybody else go through that at a job they had? It got old. And it became transparent. Okay? And I started seeing through things that they didn't like me seeing. What a bunch of clowns. This is a good oracle deck here. It was a bunch of clowns. Bunch of clowns. Especially the clients. The clients were a bunch of clowns. It was like the parade of clowns. No, I don't like that. Well, I did exactly what you asked. I took notes. See, I get out my notebook and point to it. You said do this. You said do that. You said do this. You said I did it all. What's wrong with it? It got to the point where they were like, I don't know. I changed my mind or whatever. They would always have some stupid comeback that was, and it got mean too. It started getting mean. Yeah, there were people there that were putting on an act, and the place sort of filled up with that kind of people. Yeah, it did. I wondered about that town. I think it was kind of clowny overall. That town was kind of clowny. Or it was. It was a town full of clowns. Yes, it was. Okay. Town full of clowns. Let's have one more of these. The witch. Yep, town full of witches too. They had this thing every year. It was called the Mall Crawl. And it got out of hand. They had to shut it down. And they had a downtown pedestrian mall, but Halloween started getting out of hand. And then after that, it was replaced by something called the Erotica Ball, which also got out of hand. You look at those hands. It got out of their hands. Things started emanating from there. I believe the amount of this kind of stuff that was going on around there created an egregore. I really think so. I really, really think so. You know, all these twisted sisters and their other twisted, even more twisted sisters, man, they got out of control. And they were out of control on me, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what was happening at that time. I didn't understand until I left that town what was happening. And for quite a while after I left there too. The waker. Awareness. Yeah, see, I didn't become aware about what was actually going on until about a year after I left the town. Yeah, that was when Honey West got activated. Woo! And I was able to start understanding, as you know, what all that woke stuff was about, the waker. I started to get an understanding of it. And this town was just, it was getting weird, okay? And they were doing a lot of work about climate change and climate initiatives and alternative energy and stuff like that. And back then I didn't believe any of what they were saying. I thought it was all kind of a big hoax, and I didn't even want to work on one of the accounts. I just thought it was a big hoax, and I remember my boss thought that was pretty funny, that I thought it was a hoax. So how can we wrap this up? I guess what I'm saying is I was in a town that was an occult, full of occult practitioners, okay, that people that were in these families, or the family, or some kind of family vibe, that were kind of either promoting or milking these divine feminines that had this certain genetic profile, I think. Seems like I was the biggest scapegoat around, though. So possibly, the Snaps profile is really a lot more royal than these other people. Possibly. The Snap has not had a DNA test, but you can see from the scales on the Snap's arms something or other. Oh, this says, "Don't get married. Take it from me, dear." And of course, my own mother always told me I would never, ever be married. She was really mean about it, too. You'll never have a man to protect you. You'll never be married. At a certain point, while I lived in this town, the dating for me just totally dried up, or the only men I could get a date with were really horrible. This is just a walk down memory lane from that horrible time in my life. What is this? Another rose with a laundry detergent box, and oh, look! It's the ruby slipper busting out of a laundry detergent box with a rose. Okay. All right, that does it. All right. Okay. Oh, did you get your share of the American dream? I didn't. All those other people did, though. They sure did. Everyone, it's the same as it is here. Everybody else had a nice house, a nice car, except the Snap. Except the Snap. I think this is a moth, not a butterfly. So this is a moon, this is a high priestess. This is a high priestess, okay, who maybe all this harassment was meant to activate something. Can anyone in my collective relate to that? Yeah, and on the other side of these Citadel cards, it's not a real big city, but it did seem to have kind of an underworld side to it, okay? There was the 3D side to it that was, the everyday thing. This is just a job, but then underneath there was an agenda behind everything. You come to your job, we'll pay you just enough to get you to stick around, and then we come in and we milk you all day, every day. Okay, we take turns beating you up. Everybody beats up the scapegoat all day long. I'm just telling collective, this is how it works. This is like how the authority figures were. Some of the clients, they were like this. Look at his eyes. This is some of the authority figures around there were kind of like that. The clients. Here's a high priestess. All right, here's a high priestess. Man, look at this. Golden. You're golden, man. Somebody's got some African energy. There's a parrot, a blue and pink exotic bird. And who's that down there? Annie Oakley, sharpshooter. Remember, she could hit stuff looking, facing away from it, looking in a mirror. Ooh, Yeah, somebody eventually got activated after they left there. You know, maybe enough to like return that shit. Yeah, I think so. Look out, look out. Karma's a bitch, man. Here's some prayer flags from my trip to Nepal are in here. Look at that. Ooh, walk down memory lane. Some prayer flags. Cool. What else is in here? Anything that we need to see? Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, somebody's sort of mixed. I suspect my skin is sort of slightly melanated. Yeah, I got some melanation going on a little bit. This is all stuff from my trip to Nepal. I went to Nepal on a study abroad program in 1987. And that was the year that the founder died. So the barcode is in there. It's like Ganesh got barcoded. Boop. Maybe they wanted to mass produce your energy or something. They wanted to scan you. They wanted to scan you. What does it say on the back? It says something. We have gotten into this very affluent, high-stress lifestyle, which is harming the environment and does not bring people more satisfaction. Yeah. That's the Matrix. And all these people who got into energy harvesting, they did it for material things. Let's get one more of these. Confirmation. Someone is an alchemist. Well, I opened like a shit box full of bad memories is what this turns out to be. Welcome to my world, okay? This is the Scapegoats scrapbook here. I'm trying to put, what I'm doing is I'm putting some specifics to what it's like to be a scapegoat, okay? I was definitely scapegoated all my life. I still am. I still am in this rotten, stinking town, and I have no friends, no life. It's 10 times worse than it was there. But don't forget that the stuff that they did to us is going to come back on them 10 times worse. So it got 10 times worse than it was there for me after I left there. And so imagine how bad it's going to get for some of these people. I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be you. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to put a story to the this is how it works type thing that I'm learning about. I said I didn't get understanding until about a year after I left there, but it was not until, it's almost 10 years now since I left that town. Okay? It's about 10 years-ish. And but I wanted to show you the look, this golden girl card. Here's the golden girl, the alchemist. Okay, there she is. That's the one they were harvesting off of. But I think I understood a lot of this stuff a lot better than I thought I did. And look, this came out twice. I missed that in the reading. We had the ruby slipper come out twice in the reading. And so that's definitely a programming trigger. I told you, it's a clown town. Okay? Where I believe I was being controlled by people dropping triggers all day long. Just all day long. They trigger bombed me, okay? And all these symbols were really burned into my brain. Look at the color signaling. Don't be fooled. They look like Barbies, but they might be something else. Yeah, these people were just, they were harvesting energy off the snap. I was using that bolt, drawing that bolt for years, ever since I went to Nepal and I found out about the Vajra thunderbolt. But this is what it feels like to be a scapegoat. I found this card in there too. He walked alone on the beach, wondering if he would ever be safe again. This is what my life turned into here. People just nonstop stalking, harassing, and murder attempts. I've survived many. More snappage. Watery snappage. I think it's going to be bad. The snap never did anything wrong. The snap just got beat up all day, every day. All day, every day. This is what it's like. So, I don't want to get stuck there. I'm not stuck there anymore. I finally understand it, and I did work my way out of there. I learned how to stand on my own 2 feet, okay? I got an understanding. I had to throw it all overboard. I'm all alone. He walked alone on the beach, wondering if he would ever be safe again. That's how I live. I don't know what's in my future, but, it seems like the past is full of ugliness. And all those people were constantly gaslighting me, trying to say that I was mentally unstable or something because I didn't like the way they were treating me all day, every day. And because I could see they were fakes that were smiling in my face and everything. And they gaslighted me. It was nonstop gaslighting, too. I hope that doesn't come back on people because that's really unpleasant. It is so unpleasant to have to endure that kind of gaslighting all the time. So this is just telling some of my personal story to help other scapegoats. Maybe someone in my collective can relate to this. I hope so. Anyway, it's all in a box. I can put the lid on there. Actually, I found some stuff in here that I might be able to use in the future. That's great. So maybe I can transmute this by doing that. I've got a great oracle deck in here. It's like a Lenormand deck or something. It's already all made. So maybe that's how I'll transmute things, by helping you with a story about what it's like to be scapegoated, and by taking this poop and crapping out some rainbows and some gold. Thank you to a master teacher out there. Namaste.